What's up, you guys? Welcome back. As you can tell, I don't have any eyebrows on. I get so many DMs about my eyebrows all the time, how I fill them in, who do I go to, things like that, and just basically tips and tricks on how to fill in your own personal eyebrows. Eyebrows have been one of the hottest topics in the makeup industry for so long, and it's because they're important. They truly do frame your face and they're part of your expression. So we want to make sure that we get them right and we are catering them to kind of our own personal face shape. I've been waxing my own eyebrows since I was 14. So that's 14 years of having experience, but that doesn't mean professional. I've chopped my brows in some years of starting. Me and my eyebrows have definitely gone on that roller coaster of looks, but I would definitely say over the last few years, like my brows are exactly where I need them to be. But over the course of waxing them that many years, they are not what they used to be. I definitely still have a really good structure there, which I'm so thankful for because at one point I did not have eyebrows. So now at least I have something to work with, but they'll never really be the same. So I want to give you guys an updated brow routine on how I fill in my eyebrows. What I find is the best, easiest way and something that looks natural and lasts all day. I feel like we already all know the tips and tricks on placement, things like that. Everyone is going to be slightly different because we all do look different. But I'm still going to run through it just in case you don't know. But I feel like you do know, but maybe you don't know. So the most important thing is to have your brow products. What is your favorite brow products to use? You're going to be using them today. So my personal ones are the Anastasia products, of course. She is the brow queen. I've been using her products for as long as I can remember. Back when I started in 2011, when no one really knew about her products, she was out there. And over the course of that, I've tried so many other brow products and I have definitely fallen in love with a lot of other brands, but she's my personal favorite and I just always go back. So I'm going to be using two of those. And it is the Brow Wiz and the Brow Pomade. It's so funny because I remember when the pomade came out, I thought, I don't want to say this out loud because I hate saying it, but like I thought this was so stupid. Silly me. This is one of the best brow products you could ever purchase in your entire life. So these two are heavy staple. And then also one of my other products that is a staple is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. I've tried many brow setters. This just will always forever be my favorite. I don't like using anything else but this because it's so amazing. I know some people do soap brows, but soap brows do not work for me. Every time I put soap in my eyes, every time I put soap in my eyebrows and I go to wash it off, there's something that's just like too harsh about it or whatever it is, like it takes my eyebrows out. Even if I just softly lather the brow, my eyebrows just still come out. I don't know what it is. It just is what it is. So soap brows aren't for me, but these products are. So I'm going to be teaching you how to use these. If you can't afford the Anastasia products, I totally understand. One product that I found in the drugstore is the NYX one, which reminds me exactly like the Brow Wiz. This is the micro brow pencil. This is an amazing dupe. I personally just like the color tones of Anastasia better, but I mean, they're pretty much the same thing. So I'm going to try to zoom you in a little closer. Hi. When it comes to my brows, I definitely have different styles of how I like to wear them depending on what I'm going to be doing. So like a quick everyday look or running out of the house or very minimal makeup, I'll just go in with my Brow Wiz and just lightly feather in throughout the brow and I call it a day. When I have more of a fuller look like this, not like this is like super full, but looks like this and more fuller to more dramatic, I definitely like to fill in my eyebrows just a little bit more, have them standing out. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to show you guys how I would fill them in with this particular look and then also how it would still be the same look how I'd wear it when I'd be a little bit more dramatic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the pomade first. This is in the shade medium brown. This is a little bit on the drier side right now just because I've had it for a while. You can definitely put a little bit of oil in there if you'd like. It'll just refreshen it right back up. But sometimes like I like it when it's like this. I like it when it's a little bit hard to work with because then I feel like it gives it somewhat of a texture to the brow, and that's what I'm looking for. I want my brows to look real, you know, not just like blocked in filled eyebrows. So this is just an angled brush. You can use any type of angled brush. You cannot get this anymore because this was like 10 years old, but it's from Sephora. So just an angled eyeliner brush, and I'm just going to kind of wiggle, just get it in there. And because it's drier, I don't really have to take any excess off, but if you were to put oil in there, you would need to. So now what I like to do, this is so random, and I don't think I've seen anybody else do this, which is like my own personal trick. So I hope you guys like it. So what I'll do is I always start in the center of the brow. I never start in the front and I don't start at the end. I just start here. I want to deposit most of the product here because then you can feather it outwards. So now what I'll do is like I said, I'll start right in the middle, pop some product down, and I kind of sweep towards the tail a little bit. And now I'm going to backtrack and I'm pushing this in my brow hairs. It is so weird, but what I'm doing is by reversing this, it's filling in all the little gaps of the hair that sometimes when you're going with the hair, it doesn't get into the skin. Does that make any sense? I hope it does. But now this will adhere to the skin because I'm going backwards. And now that I have less amount of product on the brush, I'll now just go ahead and just feather through very lightly. I like to keep it lighter here to get that nice natural gradient effect, like so. Now I'll just take the spoolie and I'll brush the hair in its natural spot. And it's already halfway filled. Now what I'm going to do with this is just detailing. So I'm going to, again, this one's in medium brown as well. So I'm just going to go back over and use this as kind of a guide to outline and get that crisp look. I know a lot of people like to do their eyebrows first to get that crisp look. I've never been one to do my eyebrows first. They're always the last thing that I do on my face. And again, using this small brush, you can still get that crisp look without having to carve it. Anytime I carve my eyebrows, I just feel like it doesn't look natural to me. So that's why I just like doing it this way. I find that I get more of that natural, fluffier look, and it's still bold, but it's not too much, you know, for my own personal taste. And then what I'll do is, if I see any little bare area, I'll just lightly go over it. And that's all that I do. It's so simple. It's so easy. And then I just take this guy right here, which is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter, and then I comb right through my brows. Just a couple times just to get a nice little coat. And voila. A nice filled in brow that looks natural, that frames my face, and is going to last all day. Again, what I was saying about earlier, we all have different eyebrow shapes, thinner, thicker, definitely different shapes on like how they frame the face too. You know, some people might have more of a rounded, some have more of like a squared block. There's so many different types of eyebrows out there. I just find this one in particular, this shape, just seems to be a little bit more universal. I find a lot more people have this type of brow shape. Even if you don't specifically at home have that, that is fine. Everything that I did to this brow, you can do to your brows as well. But if you do like this shape, I'm going to show you how to get it even if you don't personally already have it. So I'm going to be talking about the brow mapping that I was talking about earlier. If I did mention it earlier, I can't even remember now at this point. But that is this guy. So again, since we all have different eye shapes and face shapes, this will definitely help a little bit better for you. So the first thing that you want to do is, if you're wondering where your eyebrow starts, this is the first step. You're going to go right up against your nose and you're going to go straight up. And wherever that is where your brow is supposed to start, and you're just going to make a little line right there. Now I'm going to take the brush and I'm going to go onto the side of my nose, and I'm going to go straight through the eye, right through that pupil, the iris, and right there is where your arch should start. Mine kind of, I think, naturally starts a little bit more off right here, but that would be if I took it at the tip here. So I think it really, you know, just depends on your own face shape. You could either do the tip through the iris, that matches my arch, or you can do the side of the nose and through the iris. So what you're going to do is make a little mark right there, and then you're going to go to the end of your eye this time. So again, still using the nose, you're going to go to the end of your eye, and that is where the end of your eyebrow should stop. Then what you'll do is, once you have your marks down, you're going to kind of just connect the dots. So I like to connect them with a straight line. So if you have something in your room that has like a straight edge, something like this, if that's easier for you to help make a straight line, you can definitely do that. They also make stencils, which I think is really, really cool. I don't personally have any on my hand right now. I used to, but I think I gave them away to somebody who needed them more. But those are options for you as well. But yeah, so what you would end up doing is if you made that straight line right there, you're going to go ahead and you're going to connect a straight line right to the second dot, which would be your arch. Same up here. You would make a nice little line to your arch, and then you would just connect those lines downwards, and then you would fill in from there. Since I already kind of naturally made my brows over time do that, I don't necessarily have to do that trick anymore. But I'm going to show you with just using this alone instead of using the pomade, like how I'd fill in my eyebrow. So again, we're going to make that imaginary line go straight across to the arch, just like so. And I always brush the product through in between each step because I want this to look as natural as possible and to be diffused. And then once I get to the arch, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to bring downwards right to that line. And now we're starting to fill that in. And when you're doing this, honestly, just take your time with little hair-like strokes. Don't rush it. It's not a race. And the smaller that you do your little strokes and you become more concentrated in the areas, the better it's going to fill in for you, and you're not going to feel super frustrated. Also, keep in mind that not all eyebrows are going to be the same. I know we've heard countless times they're sisters, not twins. We totally get that. And I know like there's been times that my eyebrows can straight up look like cousins. But don't worry too much on trying to get them completely perfect at first. Just work on filling it in, and then you can take a step back and see which brow is lacking maybe a certain arch or a certain fill, things like that. You can go in and add details then, but just try your best and take your time with each because they're going to be their own little individuals. So again, once you're done, just go ahead and give it one more brush through and then go back in with the brow gel. This is so crucial to me. This to me is like hairspray for your brows. It's just going to comb nicely through, helps with some of that product disbursement that I was talking about earlier, helps it to blend, and then just keeps that hold, which is awesome. So now looking at my brows, and like I was talking about earlier, like fill them in and then take a look and see which one is lacking something or needs a little bit more of a fill, things like that. This brow, for whatever reason, always has a little bit of gap no matter how many times I try to fill it. I don't know what it is. It might be like a weird skin thing because every time I go over it with products, it doesn't really want to stick that well. And then this brow always seems to be a little bit thicker right there. So then I'll just come over here, fill this guy a tad bit more. Try to get them as even as possible. If you do like that carved look, or you maybe messed up on an area and you need to clean it up, I absolutely love eyebrow pencils instead of concealer. These ones are more my favorite. I think it's just the consistency and the texture of it is really nice because even after you did put eyeshadow on, this isn't really going to disturb that eyeshadow like a concealer would. So this one's from Anastasia. It's the double-ended one. So I don't remember what shade this is because it is scratched off, but it's the more yellow toned one. And then all I'll do is take like a flat ended brush similar to this, and I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of grab some of that product from the pencil, and then you can just go right up underneath the brow to give it a little bit more brightness, to clean it up, to give it a little bit more of that crisp look. I do like this, again, opposed to the concealer. I feel like even this looks a little bit more natural than using concealer for me. But I think it's all about just how much product that you're using. I sometimes use too much concealer, so, that could definitely be the issue there. So if you were going to use concealer, just use a very, very light amount. And again, using a small brush like this and just cutting it real close will give that nice crispness but still keeping it look natural. Now I have you guys zoomed out so you guys can see my brows and how they sit and frame my face. Like I was saying earlier, I definitely love a fuller brow right now. But you know what? Brow styles are always changing. They really are. So I kind of just like go with it. Some days I like mine thinner, some days I like them fuller. But as of now, like these are my go-to brows for any type of makeup look like this or more dramatic. I hope I made this easy for you guys and show you how simple and quick it can be to fill in your eyebrows every day. I know it can definitely be a daily struggle for some people, but I just really want you to just sit back, think about it, relax, take a deep breath, and just go into it with no expectations and just do it. Don't stress yourself out about doing it. Just keep listening to the techniques that I gave you and just own it. Over time, you will get better, I promise. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you found this helpful or useful in any way. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to all my videos if you guys like to see more. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. My name's Amanda Devon on there. If you guys have any other brow questions or you're struggling or you want to show me how you fill your brows in and things like that, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Get in my DMs. I will DM you back. I always do, I promise. But that's all I got for today. So until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.